And welcome to the McNay Art Museum. I'm Rich Aste, and it's always a great pleasure and with great pride that I stand before you, introducing myself as the third director of this wonderful institution, which opened as the first modern art museum in Texas. Now, we opened that way 64 years ago in 1954. But today, together, we're making history, institutional history, for the very first time. The exhibition that brought us here together this morning, Something to Say, the McNay Presents 100 Years of African American Art, which opens on the other side of this wall in less than a month on February 8th, will be the very first survey of modern and contemporary African American art at the museum. So please join me in applauding all of our efforts for that great accomplishment. Now, we're in the business, and art museums in general across the country, we're in the business of beauty and of truth. And the exhibition that we're all here to celebrate will help the McNay tell a more truthful story of American art in the 20th and 21st century. And everyone in the community will benefit from that version of the last 100 years. Something to Say also celebrates something very important, the impact of pioneering local collectors Harmon and Harriet Kelley. This San Antonio family, and they're beautifully represented today with their daughters Margaret and Jennifer, have changed the century's social and political landscape, and they did so by thinking of art and by acquiring art and exhibiting the very best of African American art worldwide. So we highlight their impact here next month by exhibiting their masterpieces alongside those of collectors Guillermo Nicolas and Jim Foster, John and Frida Facey. Thank you, Frida, for being here. And the McNay itself. Thank you, staff of the McNay. You're about to meet a few of us for being here as well. Now, the trustees, the staff of the McNay, and I express our deepest gratitude to Harmon and Harriet, to Guillermo and Jim, to John and Frida, and to Veronique Lamel. I don't know if Veronique is here this morning, because all of you together with our staff headed our community committee to make sure this story is as truthful and accurate as possible.
So what I'm going to do is give you a sneak peek at the two exhibitions that will open in the early February. Something to Say, the McNay Presents 100 Years of African American Art, which will be shown in tandem with 30 Americans from the Rebel family collection. Both exhibitions were developed with the museum's mission in mind, and that is in particular to engage and represent the area's diverse community. In order to do so, as Rich mentioned, we created a community committee, which brought together representatives from the community to help us kind of think through and shape the project from the very beginning, and think through the exhibition itself, the marketing, the programs, and all the kind of things that are part of the exhibition package. And we're so delighted that our committee was so responsive. And we thank Harriet and Frida, Guillermo, and Veronique for participating. And we hope to continue working with them as the exhibition progresses, and also to note that bringing the community in is something we're going to do for every exhibition going forward. So it's very important in our process of how we're formulating projects. We were also extremely fortunate to serve as our curatorial advisor to work with Harriet and I on this project, Lowry Stokes Sims. Lowry is a former curator at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, former director at the Studio Museum in Harlem, and also was a chief curator at the Museum of Arts and Design in New York. So it was really a privilege to have Lowry work with us, and she helped shape the checklist and also to create some thematic groupings that we could explore the works of art throughout in the exhibition through some new themes. And we're going to talk about those in just a minute.
I know you have a lot of questions about our collection, how we got started and all of this, so I sort of imagined what you would ask. So, how we got started. If you were to have told us we could have acquired this art and done this, I would have thought it would have been easier going to the moon, really. Because at the time, we viewed an exhibition by curated by Dr. David Driscoll, who will be one of the speakers at this exhibit. So we went there, this was at SAMA, and we saw these wonderful works of art of African Americans. We had just built a new home, and we said we wanted some of these works to be in our home. And then this was what we found. It was very hard to find this art. I called Art Dealers America, and they gave me the name of 3 dealers, and only one came forward and helped us, and that was Thurlow Tibbs, who remained a friend and our advisor until we could fly on our own, so to speak. We originally were only interested in landscapes, seascapes, and portraits. And our earliest piece is by Joshua Johnson. It was done in 1805. This exhibition starts around in the 40s, late 30s or 40s, and will go to about the 70s. But we started acquiring work from the Harlem Renaissance period, and one of our main pieces, which is sort of the signature piece in the collection, is this piece, Girl in a Red Dress.
Thank you all for tuning right back to Black Video News for this historical day right here at the McNay Museum. And I'm just going to let the Kelleys introduce themselves, but I just told you a little sneak peek of who they are. But I'm going to start right here with
Armin Kelley.
Dr. Armin Kelley.
Thank you.
Harriet.
And their daughters are over here to my right.
Dr. Margaret Kelley.
Jennifer Kelley.
2 doctors in the house, and no, they're off right now. They're not coming to you. Dr. Kelley, please tell us about this artwork that you just gradually, just gracefully blessed this McNay Museum with,
Yeah,
please.
we're very proud that the McNay would agree to show our artwork. It's been an accomplishment of Harriet and I that we worked on over a 30-year period. After seeing the first exhibition at the San Antonio Museum of Art, we came away desiring to have some of it.
Yes, ma'am.
And so
yes, sir.
Harriet went to work finding it, and I went to work working so we could afford it.
Now, Mrs. Kelley, I know this is a really huge day for you. You've been, like Dr. Kelley, 30 years trying with the artwork, trying to get it displayed, a passion for it, along with your career also. But what is it? How does this day feel to finally have this breaking day where this museum is finally going to display some African American art?
It's very moving. I'm just happy that school children especially will be able to come through the museum and see works by African American artists, works they can identify with. So it's been a long time coming, but it's here.
It's here, yes. It took a long time. Now I'm going to shift over to the daughters because Dr. Kelley as well. Dr. Kelley, this is really a huge day for your parents and you associated with the family, the Kelley family. But how does it feel from your perspective to have your artwork right here at the McNay Museum?
Well, it's fabulous that the McNay wants to share the art that my family has acquired. And it's really an integral part of the 300th anniversary of the city of San Antonio. One of the questions that's often asked is how did a couple in San Antonio, Texas, acquire such a wonderful art collection that was thought only to be able to acquire it in the Eastern Seaboard. So it's really an integral part of the 300th anniversary of San Antonio.
Yes. Now I'm going to shift gears down here to the baby Kelley. And for your generation, how important is this to have this artwork on display? But then it's going to be here in this museum so that your generation and even younger generation can come and see this artwork finally here at the McNay Museum.
Sure. I am very thankful to my parents because growing up, this is something that I didn't have the opportunity to see. and they have made it their legacy to share the artwork and our story as African Americans with the community. So I'm so excited that young children will be able to come to museums and see artwork that looks like them.
Yeah, it really is amazing, historical day. Dr. Kelley, Mrs. Kelley, such an honor to be here with you all. And Dr. Kelley, how do you feel? How you feeling about this, Dr.
I feel real good. I feel very proud that my practice in San Antonio has afforded me the opportunity to afford to do this. So I'm very thankful to the people of San Antonio that chose me and later on Margaret to be their physician, because without them, this would never have been possible. So I'm very, very thankful to all the patients that came to see Harmony Kelley, the babies I delivered, the other gynecological things we did, that all made it possible financially for me to do other things. And it never would have been possible without that. It's broad spectrum of San Antonio. San Antonio being a very diverse city, it was made possible by a diverse population.
Yes, sir.
Not just by the African American community, but by a very diverse population of patients that made it possible for us to do this practice. And I'm very thankful.
Well, Dr. Kelley, I want to thank you. It truly is an amazing day, and I want to thank the Kelleys for being right here on Black Video News for this groundbreaking African American event that took place right here at the McNay Museum. I'm Keith Scott with Black Video News. We'll see you next time. Always be encouraged.